Good morning, Peter Goertz. I'm a psychiatrist. Let's talk about another sad topic, suicidal children. Recently, I've seen quite a few suicidal children, including teens, in emergency rooms. And there are various things, in my opinion, to look at. One is there are often family issues. They often have not seen at least one of their parents for some time, or maybe even they're separated from both of their parents. There may have been abuse in their life, and there may be bullying, which is also a form of abuse, which is very common, and that includes verbal bullying. And from what I've seen, bullying often is a very key factor in children's mood and children's depression and possible suicidal thinking. And bullying could be, let's say, saying you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, and just day after day after day. And at some point, it often reaches a threshold where the child is just overwhelmed and cannot cope anymore, becomes quite depressed. Not uncommon in my experience. So we're talking about something then that's connected with self-image, because a child who's bullied is told they're stupid, they're fat, they're ugly, may well have trouble then with their self-image. And that may also be connected with our society, including the media, internet, social media, because kids nowadays, maybe easier than previously, can be exposed to a lot of external beliefs that may not be productive for them, and they may internalize those beliefs. Let's say they're not allowed to have one pimple. If they have one pimple, they're ugly. They are not allowed to have a big nose. If they have a big nose, they're ugly. Things that are, of course, not true, but that they may have internalized. They may have internalized the belief saying, if I have small breasts, I'm ugly, or if I have big breasts, I'm ugly. If I'm not skinny, I'm ugly. So all these things that really can be negative in their consequences for children if they internalize that type of belief. Another issue I've seen in children who are suffering with depression is that they may be attracted to the same sex sexually. And that may be an issue they do not at all feel comfortable talking about with their family. Let's say, for instance, for religious reasons, the family may believe that religiously it's not acceptable for someone to be attracted to the same sex sexually. Or they may be under pressure at school. They may be bullied because, or they may know someone else who's bullied because they're attracted to the same sex. So from what I'm seeing, it's really important, or it may be very helpful for schools to teach acceptance. So in addition to math, languages, science, to just teach kids self-acceptance. Bottom line, no one's better than the next person. We all have problems. I have my problems, you have yours, the next person has theirs. If children were to learn that in school, that could be very helpful and may well decrease their vulnerability to being influenced by beliefs that would not be helpful for them, for example, from the media. And just like schools, families also could help a lot by helping children with self-acceptance, again, having them realize no one's better than me, everyone has their own problems. So rather than just focusing in a major way on grades, both schools and families may benefit from focusing much more on the psychological well-being, self-esteem, self-acceptance, and that, of course, then if someone accepts themselves, their grades are going to be a lot better, or their ability to study, ability to enjoy their life in general could be a lot better. Another aspect is drugs and alcohol. Some kids are using drugs, using alcohol, or using food as a coping mechanism. And that, of course, can be a cycle then, because once they're using drugs, alcohol, or food as a coping mechanism, that can have its own consequences on their life. For example, regarding self-esteem, let's say if they gain a lot of weight, for instance, from eating a lot of food. And my impression over the years is this has become more serious as far as the children's perspective. Nowadays, to me it seems, when a child expresses suicidal thinking, they tend to be more serious and very resolute at this point compared to years ago, based on what I've seen from seeing children over the years in emergency rooms. And that may be related to media, including internet and social media. Thank you.